Oklahoma Governor Mary Fallin met with the media on Thursday, January 17th, as she toured the Capitol, along with the state architect and building maintenance supervisor. Fallin wants legislators to find a way to pay for repairs to the building. It's an estimated $160 million price tag, but Fallin expressed concern about the health and safety of those who work in the building, pointing out barricades and a crumbling facade. You'll remember a proposed $200 million bond issue to pay for repairs was shot down last year in the House.
The fact of the matter is our Capitol is aging. It has a lot of needs, has a lot of repairs that need to be done. It's embarrassing to have barricades out in front of the Capitol when we have tourists come or people who are coming here to conduct official business for our state, because our state capitol is a symbolism of our great pride in our state and our seat of government. And so we need to have an open dialogue with our legislature, with our other public officials, about how we can begin the process of developing a strategic plan that all of us can support to repair the state capitol, to determine what the critical needs are, how will we accomplish those steps, and how we're frankly going to be able to pay for that.
And our agency is responsible for this building and manages the building. It's becoming a very serious chore for us to not only maintain, but to get in a position of proactively taking care of the building. Most of our efforts are focused on just keeping the place literally from falling apart. We've spent right at $8.8 million on non-routine repairs since 2000, on top of the $1.8 million we spend annually on operations, utilities, staff, etc., just to keep the building running. It's getting to the point where it is fiscally irresponsible and unsustainable to keep putting Band-Aids on a larger problem.
These are just hard numbers, brick and mortar, and they were approaching $90 million. But none of those go into the kind of studies we have to do. None of those speak to the architects and engineers that must be retained, the planners that must be retained. And such a daunting task is, how do we keep state government functioning while we renovate this building? And other states have found that the hardest question to ask. The state of Texas, I hate to say this, they were kind of lucky. They had a big fire in their capital, so they just moved out for 2.5 years, shut the building down because they had a fire while they renovated it. We don't have that luxury, and I'm certainly not praying for a fire. But that is probably the most daunting task, is how do we keep our state government functioning while we go through this building end to end, shutting down major building systems.
100% of the building, of the exterior, must be addressed. 100% to address the water issues, which are the biggest problem with this building, are the water issues, both inside and outside. I think you'll agree that. But when you come outside, we're going to have to engage 100% of this building, and Oklahomans need to get used to seeing scaffolding around this building for about a year. This is about a year project.
Just the outside or the whole thing?
Just the outside. Just the outside. They'll see scaffolding on a year. The inside is, there are so many variables. It's the method in which we accommodate government and administration, how much floor area we can engage at once, the availability of good space close, the availability of the communications infrastructure to the space they're going to have to go to. There are a lot of questions, but there is no doubt that we must keep state government fully functioning.
You know, to get to that point, to access rainy day funds for this purpose, whenever the governor took office, as you all are well aware, $2 and some change in there to now, right at $600 million. I'm just not convinced that this is the right purpose for rainy day fund money.
Would you prefer a bond issue?
I think that bond issue should continue to be part of the conversation. All debt is not bad debt. We need to realize that we have an obligation to take care of infrastructure, and frankly, right now the money is cheap, and I think most people can appreciate that in certain instances, utilizing the ability to borrow money is not an inappropriate use. So I think that's one of the options that the governor and the legislature will explore as they evaluate the needs of the state.